So you're looking for a dog trainer in Tualatin, and you want to make sure you get it right. Well, this explainer is a straightforward guide to help you find a great professional, someone who can really help you and your dog have a fantastic life together in the community. We've got a pretty clear path for you here. We'll start with what the end goal looks like, then we'll get into the different methods and programs. We'll cover the practical stuff, costs and local laws, and then we'll arm you with the right questions to ask and even some great local spots to practice. So, what does success really look like? It's all about having a happy, well-behaved dog that can be a real part of your life, right here in Tualatin. Just picture it for a second. Easy, peaceful walks by the river, calmly handling the sidewalks in your Bridgeport village, or just hanging out together at Tualatin Community Park during a summer event. You know, good training is what makes all those simple, really enjoyable moments possible. Okay, so before you even start looking for a trainer, it really helps to understand the most effective and humane approach that the pros use today. This is the bedrock of everything else. The industry standard these days is positive reinforcement. Basically, it works by rewarding the good behaviors you want to see more of, which is a really powerful way to shape your dog's choices. This approach builds a fantastic bond of trust between you two, which, of course, is what you need to be a considerate neighbor. So how can you tell if a trainer is really committed to their profession? You look for certifications. A CPD-TKA or a KPA-CTP shows they have a solid foundation in modern training. Now, if you're dealing with more complex issues, like serious anxiety or reactivity, you might look for a specialist with an IABC certification. Any of these credentials show that a trainer is dedicated to keeping up with their education. Once you know what to look for in a trainer's qualifications, the next step is figuring out the right format, the right kind of program for your goals, your dog's personality, and your lifestyle. All right, let's break down the options. Group classes, they're perfect for socialization and practicing obedience with all the distractions you'll find in our local parks. Private lessons give you that one-on-one attention for specific issues at home, like jumping on guests. And then there's board and train. It can be a great head start, but listen, the biggest mistake people make is not following through afterward. Your involvement when your dog gets home is what makes that big investment actually stick. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The practical details every single dog owner in Tualatin should know, starting with what you can probably expect to budget for training. Here's a look at the typical costs around here. A 6-week group class is generally going to run you a few $100s, while a single private lesson is often in that $100 to $160 range. It just gives you a solid idea for your budget. So we've talked money, but now let's cover another key part of being a responsible dog owner, knowing the local rules. This is all about keeping our community safe and just enjoyable for everyone. Just remember this number, 8 feet. That's the maximum leash length allowed in Tualatin's public spaces. So yeah, those long, retractable leashes, they need to be locked at 8 feet or less when you're out and about. So here's your quick Tualatin owner checklist. Your leash has to be 8 feet or shorter in public. Your dog needs a current rabies vaccine and a license from Washington County. Oh, and any trainer you hire is required to have a City of Tualatin business license to operate legally. Okay, so you've done your homework, and now you're ready to start talking to some trainers. Here are the must-ask questions to make sure you find that perfect match. When you're talking to a trainer, you're listening for their approach. You want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement. Ask about their certifications and how they keep learning. A good trainer won't just have a cookie-cutter solution. They'll want to create a custom plan and explain how you'll track success together. And, seeing if they're willing to work with your vet if there are behavior issues, that's a very good sign. So you've started training, and now comes the really fun part. Putting those new skills to the test in our awesome local parks and trails. Our local spots make for perfect training grounds. Browns Ferry Park, for instance, is just great for practicing calm, loose leash walking with lots of natural distractions. The Tualatin River and Fano Creek greenways are fantastic for teaching your dog to stay focused when joggers, cyclists, and other dogs on leash go by. Now, what about off-leash training? It's so important to do this safely. When you're practicing skills like recall that come when called, the only safe and legal place to do it is inside a fully fenced, designated off-leash area. Here in town, that means the dog park at Tualatin Community Park. It's really the go-to spot for safe, off-leash fun and for testing that super important recall cue in a totally secure environment. At the end of the day, investing in good training is about more than just solving problems at home. It really turns your dog into a welcome, well-behaved member of our Tualatin community. We wish you the best of luck on your training journey and hope you enjoy all the wonderful moments that a well-trained dog brings.